Develop a fortune state of mind. Time for a date with. Time for a date with. A date with the Dorseys.
Hello, 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 and welcome to yet another date with the Dorseys. I am Dr. Jatan and
Floyd Dorsey.
the fourth. We are back with another hot topic. We are so excited to be back with you all, and we have such a hot topic for you. But I just love to say hot topic, and I think it just rolls off naturally every time.
It does.
So and if it's not your first time, you already know that it's already a hot topic. It's gonna be a hot topic, and it's always been a hot topic.
That's it.
So today. Before we get in, I always have to do the housekeeping and ensuring that everybody is on par. We are, lock and step before we jump into the topic here. And the first thing is our contact information, right? Because we want you to remain in contact with us. We want you to be able to be well aware of whenever we drop new episodes and all of that good stuff. And you can plug in on Instagram and Facebook at Dem Darn Dorsey so that you can get all the dibs on what we got going on, all the episodes, etc., etc. And then you can also email us at support@fortuneenterprise.com. And remember, Fortune is spelled IVTUNE, enterprise.com. We'd love to hear from you. Any ideas on topics or things that you'd like to hear us chat about, or even questions about some of our topics. We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
So now, before again we jump into the topic, if it's your first time joining and you're probably wondering, hey, what is the whole deal about Dem Darn Dorseys and Date with the Dorseys? What do y'all talk about? I love your vibe. I've seen your posts, but not really sure exactly what your podcast is about. Okay, glad you asked.
Glad to ask.
So we are here to encourage, inspire, all of that. I thought my husband was going to hop in and give me another descriptive word.
I thought you had it. I thought you had it covered.
Nevertheless, we are here to encourage a fortune state of mind. And what we mean by that is just becoming a holistic you, like a all-around better you holistically. Let me say it that way. And so when we say holistically, we have what we refer to as the 5 F's, which are the pillars that lead up to that fortune state of mind. These are the things that help you achieve that fortune state of mind that we are so eloquently stating about. So those 5 F's are fitness, finance. Oh.
Okay, sorry. Fitness, faith, finances.
Faith.
And
fun. We missed them.
No, we said faith twice.
Oh, did we?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so let's
family.
Try faith, family, fitness, finance,
and
fun.
No, you gotta sing that all over again. And
I was gonna make you say it because I caught out the other F, so I thought you were gonna sing for us today.
That's what you do.
Okay, so faith, family, fitness, finance,
and
fun.
Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
So now that you know exactly what the podcast is all about, we look forward to you joining us. Go forward, like sharing this thing out, letting the folks know exactly what we have in store for them. Now, enough said about what we are about and what the podcast is about. So let's jump right into this topic today, which is time to heal and a time to deal.
To reveal.
See, I'm all off today.
No, you're not. Just a little tweaking, that's all.
So a time to heal and time to reveal. Okay, got it that second round. So clearly this is going to be a good lesson for me as well. Because I can't get the words out today. But yeah, we want to talk to you about a time to heal and a time to reveal. We know that there are seasons for everything, timing for everything. But we want to kind of just chat through that topic itself. And I'm going to pass it right over to Mr. Dorsey to kick us off here.
Okay, I'll take the assist and score. So we talk about time to heal as well as a time to reveal. But the key word that you find in both of those phrases is time. And as you all have heard before, time is the one thing we can't get back. And what we do with that time is so important and precious that we want to make the largest impact of the time that we do spend in whatever we're doing. In this world that we live in today, there's so many different dynamics. I mean, we're often so consumed with just busyness. I mean, we're busy with work, we're busy with family or children or school or extracurricular activities, or you name it, organizations, other business ideas or ventures that we're pursuing. I mean, it's just busy. And in the midst of all of that busyness, it consumes a great portion of this precious thing that we call time. And with that consumption, what we find ourselves doing is neglecting the very individuals or the very ones, or ourselves, the ones that's spending the time. And so with that neglect, we find ourselves going on and moving and giving selflessly to either organizations or other people, and then less about ourselves, because we've been taught that that's the way to go, right? Be selfless, give, and we find ourselves neglecting. The one source that we truly control is ourselves. And that time that we divulge into those other people, other activities, organizations, you name it. So what's profound in this is, while we have a noble act of just giving time, we find ourselves starting to suffer from the neglect that we bring about onto ourselves. So taking that time, as I mentioned earlier, it was the key word in the phrase time to heal and time to reveal. And so in that time, if we really take a step back and analyze ourselves, we may find that we may be experiencing a little bit more stress than we probably should have. And it's really hard to do and hard to identify while you're in the midst of your busyness, right? Because you're just adding just another layer and another layer and another layer. And after you look back over a good period of time, you'll find yourself like, wow, I've been carrying so much more than I was carrying 3, 4, 5 years ago. This is getting very heavy. I'm depleting myself from all that I have within me to continue to move on. I'm not really sure what to do, because now I'm having symptoms of stress or pressure or other physical ailments that begins to take over into my own physical body that I'm not sure where it came from. And I can tell you, in a lot of cases, it may be the very fact that you're carrying this load that's been added on to you over a period of time, very chronic, just bit by bit, not even realizing how much you're really carrying and how much neglect you really had for yourself.
So we are starting with really what the definition of time is, so that we understand the value of time itself, it sounds like, right? So I love the way that you highlighted the fact that time is one thing that we won't get back, even though I always talk about Oprah and she says, land is one thing we won't get any more of as well. But in this case, we are talking about time specifically, so we don't want to I don't want to say I will say take advantage of the time we have in a way that that we lose sight of the fact that there's opportunity to become better in the time that we have, rather than taking on so much and just continuing to go about life as the day comes. One thing that I often say to people is, wake up with a plan instead of waking up and saying, okay, what does the day have for me? You wake up and say, this is what I have for the day.
I like that.
And so being prepared to, fully take advantage of the time that we do have while we have it, because we never know when that time would end. And so we want to make sure that every breath that we take is taken in a place of peace, comfort, happiness, things of that sort. Now, granted, we are all human, so we will have times where we are stressed or times we are frustrated and things of that sort, but the key is to be able to balance those things.
That's it.
And know when to pull back, know when to rest. To your point, I think it was your last point there, just knowing when it's time to shut things down or remove things or whatever it is that you need to do in order for you to maximize your time here on earth,
on this plane. That's
yes.
right. So we talked about time. Now let's unpack a little bit about the healing and the revealing. And I know it's a question that many of you have, like, what do you mean heal? And as we talked about some of the challenges and some of the pains and some of the stresses that we all experience in our lives just day over day, we know that we're giving time to something, but what we're talking about here from a healing standpoint is after you've gone through and you've spent so much time in so many different places and neglected yourself to the point where now you have these scars, right? And having a scar is not necessarily a bad thing, right? Some scars are signs of stretching and growth. Some are signs of injury. But if you never really take the time, you would never really know what kind of scars you truly have. And these could be emotional, mental, physical, whatever it may be. It could be stretching or it could be an injury, right? Stretching means you're being expanded for growth. But either way, whenever you are stretching or growing a muscle, it still needs time to recover. Right? It needs time to heal so that it can now become more stronger so that you can produce more output in your future. If there's an injury on the same token, you would need time for that injury to heal. Now, I know I'm using words of growth and stretching and healing, but I'm really talking about not just in the physical sense. Emotionally, we put a lot of strain and stress and we receive fractures from so many different places that we are emotionally divulging our energy in our lives to, that we need time to heal from certain things. I often find times where while we're still injured, we still try to move forward. And as a former athlete, I am no stranger to trying to fight through pain or trying to fight through injury and still go out and give my energy, time, effort to perform. Because in the sense of an athlete, you start to see that it's not just about you, it's about the team or it's something bigger. And so you begin to neglect the self-care that you really need for the sake of the greater good for the team. In that, you're just still compounding some of the injury or some of the pain that you already have been suffering and never really truly taking the time to heal. Once that area heals, you give it time to become stronger. Right? So then the next part is reveal. Well, reveal what?
Well, before you go into the reveal.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Before you get into that, when you talk about heal, I think about specifically when you said we don't take the time to heal. I think about when we are taught to forgive and forget. But the challenge is, I think, in so many cases, is the fact that we don't also teach how to heal. So when you tell people to forgive and forget, you make it, for one, sound so easy. Whatever it is, it doesn't apply all the time. And sometimes certain things take a little longer to get over or to deal with or whatever. But it's one thing to forget, it's one thing to forgive, but then it's a completely different thing to heal.
That's it.
Right. And until you truly heal from that thing, that hurt, that pain, whatever it may, that disappointment, whatever it may have been, not until you actually heal from it will you be able to actually forgive and forget.
That's
so
it.
there really should be heal and then forgive and forget.
That's it. I like that. I love it. And then, from healing standpoint, there are so many different outlets to go for healing, right? So if it's a physical pain that you experience, then we have doctors and physicians to help you to give you a treatment plan to heal that physical thing. If it's an emotional or psychological or mental, then there are specialties out there to help you heal from that.
Right.
If it's something of a spiritual nature, right, then there are several different outlets or religion for your own spiritual guidance and things of that nature. So there are resources, the point being, for every type of healing that's necessary. But all of those resources are available, but they're no good unless you involve yourself with them, unless you seek it, unless you go and do the work and find it and connect with them and follow the treatment plan. So I do love that idea to heal, then you can forgive and forget.
Right. Because if you don't, I mean, you can all say all day that you forgive and you also forgot, and then it could be 10 years later that one incident triggers what happened
Something
10 years ago.
That's
because
it.
you never really dealt with it.
You haven't had a chance to heal.
Right.
Wow, amazing. So now getting to the reveal part. You may say, well, Floyd, I really don't feel any pain or anything that's going on. Everything seems fine. I can continue to go. And I still say, in that instance, still find a way to find time to step away. And in that time, what you'll find is revelations. Some things may become, revealed, right? Some things may be revealed or clearer, or, you may have those moments of inspirations or new thoughts that, just seemingly comes out of nowhere. There may be things that you may discover within yourself that you hadn't really realized because you've been busy being you and you hadn't had a chance to really uncover, understand, or learn more about you. You may find more insights about other people, your surroundings, your involvement, whatever it is that you're doing. So again, there may be some known things you need to heal in some cases, but there also may be revelations that come to inspire, to encourage, to uplift you, or as cautionary warnings for you as well. So taking that time, again, gives you that added benefit. That time you take could be the very time that could push you even much further than had you not taken it. Because your fumes may be very, very low. And if you just take a bit of time to refuel, heal, take your revelations, get yourself up to 100%, and you'll find that you're even much more valuable to all of the organizations or people or companies or whatever you were doing, all of your endeavors, than you were prior to taking that time. And that's what's important, and that's what's impactful.
Yeah, indeed. I think about how it kind of goes, what I'm about to say kind of goes back to what you mentioned, like in the first point about just being busy. I think that it's important for us to really decipher in our lives whether we're being busy or productive. And oftentimes we get overly committed and involved into certain things, and after a while we feel obligated to do those things, and so we just continue to do it just because we've always done it. Not understanding the fact that if I leave, someone else will definitely pick up the torch and keep running with this thing.
That's it.
So it's truly about really being one with yourself and analyzing, assessing, and reassessing all that you have going on and determining whether or not it's in alignment with where you want to be. And I think that's also a part of this whole deal and reveal piece. And to your point, I think when we do that assessment and reassessment, a lot of things are revealed to us, whether it be the fact that I need to let go of this particular organization that I'm a member of, or I need to do less with this thing around the house that's really not bringing value to myself, to my family, or to the home. So just being really critical about the way that you spend your time. I know I spoke earlier about being careful about your breaths. Like every heartbeat, every breath, every blink is of value, because that is all that we have. So keeping that in mind. So if you just think about all the activities and the busy work that you're doing, think about it in this way. Is it worth another heartbeat? Is it worth another breath of mine? Because we are all limited on those things, and those things are necessary for us to live.
Absolutely. Once you heal, you can deal. As things become more revealed, the more impactful you will be able to deal. Either way it go, I know we're so busy with our dealings and we're anxious just to deal, but it's important for those other two components that we're really stressing in this episode.
Yeah. When you say that, it also reminds me of just I say it's a motto for myself, because I found myself being a busy person before, and I don't think I've completely been delivered from that, but
no.
because it's been revealed, I can recognize it though. And because I can recognize it, I can then take actions to pull myself back or do whatever I need to do to get back on track. But the thing that I had to commit to myself or say to myself often is rest but don't quit. Because I think in my mind, being a busy person, I would always feel like if I wasn't busy, then I'm a quitter. Or if I wasn't busy, I wasn't accomplished. But settling with myself to understand that, yeah, it's okay to rest. Just don't quit. Because when you come back, as you said earlier, I can come back just that much harder and stronger.
That's it. I want the 100% you, and not the 15% that's been depleted. So absolutely it. I think when you were just speaking, you hit on one of our key points here and action steps is, you're talking about how busy you are and you're guilty of it, but you've learned to allow things to reveal, so you take that step back, which is one of our key steps that we want to stress is while you're being busy and you may be struggling to say, all right, how do I allow things to be revealed, or how do I take time to heal? And you literally have to just take a step back from those things that you're doing over and over. That could be expressed in a vacation, or in some cases a staycation. Nonetheless, you want to take a step back and just be still, like literally just be still and do nothing, and just allow yourself to just breathe for an extended period of time. I'm not just saying 5 minutes. Yeah, you could do that during the day, having those moments, but I'm saying even from your daily routines, your daily rigor, take some time for yourself and just unplug and pull away. Take a step back and be still.
Yeah. And to your point, that could be many different ways that you take a step back or that you take a pause. Again, using myself as an example, something that I've found myself doing a lot more lately is really indulging in my essential oils. So knowing what oils will really kind of calm you down, relax you, and then just being in a darker place and inhaling and exhaling. And to your point, those essential oils were, one of the favorites here lately is lavender, just because it is one of those calming oils. But again, it doesn't have to be anything that's extravagant, you're spending a lot of money on, but just making sure that you are keeping self-care first. Whatever that looks like for you, it could be listening to an audiobook, it could be meditating, whatever it is, taking the time to really bask in what has been revealed to you, so that you can then deal with
That's it
effectively.
And I think you just led to the next point you're just talking on, so it's amazing. Which is the next one, is just quiet the mind, right? You want to make sure you can quiet the mind and the voices around you. I'm so used to just hearing voices, whether that's coming from conference calls at work, or meetings, or talking to people, or whether if it's the radio or if it's a podcast. Of course, not just any podcast, but the Date with the Dorsey podcast. But now there are a few of our favorites out there. But whatever it is, it's just a lot of noise and information. Not to say that it's good or bad, but I'm saying that's a lot the brain is just receiving, and how the brain has to interpret it, and some of it is more some of the information may be a little bit more challenging to more palatable, challenging to palate. altogether. So it may bring additional stress or some other pains to the body, and may be hard to to really digest and swallow. While others maybe a bit more soothing, a little bit easier. Right, I can digest it a little bit better. But just keeping those things in mind is, after you take that step back and be still, of course you have to quiet the mind, and then all those external voices, right, that may influence your mind, or may just add more information and noise to what's going on already inside of you.
Yeah, to your point, it could be educational, it could be entertainment, but even some of those things that we feel are entertainment, it can be overwhelming at times when you have it high dosage and consistently. So just guarding your entries, your point of entry. So whether it be your ears, your nose, your mouth, your eyes,
protect them at all costs.
Protect them, right? And as far as what's coming in and how often it's coming in, and those are things that really determine your sanity. And I know we can get really comfortable with, for instance, even social media is like I don't know, I was about to say it's like wearing a watch, because that's a normal thing for me, but it may not be for everyone else. But you just have the tendency to just scroll, and you'll find yourself scrolling for no reason. And you're like, why am I doing this? Like, I don't even, it's not benefiting me.
Yeah, there's no value. Nothing I'm looking for.
So,
I'm in the habit of doing it.
Right.
And it's just feeding you.
It's feeding you. Even if you're not even really focused in on what you're seeing, it's still being absorbed. So being careful about that. So just want to throw that out there.
That's awesome. So then the next point is just being open to those revelations or insights that you receive. After you've gone through the first couple steps, now open yourself up, right? There's a voice inside. There's a voice. And being open to the revelations that you receive, or the insights, or the inspirations, or the spirits, right? All those things, that allowing yourself to just breathe and receive, to recharge, to refuel, is very, very important as you go down this journey of really taking time to heal, and again, for those things to be revealed. And then the last point, I think we've been stressing it throughout, is really, once you've really gotten to a good place, now you can deal. And this is about just taking the actions to restore, right? Once you've gotten to that place and you receive those insights and those revelations, it's taking the actions to fully restore yourself so that you can now truly deal, right? And ultimately, what we want to be is very productive and impactful into the engagements that we have, to the lives that we touch, and of course, in our own individual lives. Truly is what we want to do. We all are here together. We're all here going through challenges. We're all going through some pains and traumas, whether they're said or unsaid. But we must maintain proper self-care, harmony, and balance, and really rock this thing that we call life to the fullest, to maximize our best and truest potential.
Okay then, Mr. Dorsey. You know what? I feel like this topic has been unexpectedly calming too. Like, I feel like we're in like one of those spas, and the music is playing behind us or something. Like, I can imagine that happening right now. But nevertheless, that was our topic on time to heal, and a time to reveal.
That's it.
And I know we threw deal in there as well, so we were dealing, healing, and revealing. So that's a collective effort there, and I think that all of those work in concert together to achieve that self-care that we've been talking about. But with that, I can just maneuver right into Dose of Dorsey, which will be along the same lines, of course. But I think I know I opened up with mentioning that there is a season for everything. And ran across this article, and of course I love to give credit where credit is due, and this was written by Keith McGivern. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. But he speaks on this topic very well. So I'll just read what he has here. And that is, depending on which part of the world you live in, you will notice a difference in the seasons as they change before your very eyes. There's a certain beauty that happens as landscapes are visually transformed from one state into another. There are also challenges that take place as well that are not so fun to deal with in certain moments. But overall, it's amazing to see how things come together and are mysteriously orchestrated for a grander purpose. In the same manner, this can be said about our lives. We move from season to season as we learn and grow as people. Each change has a purpose behind it and has and how it affects our daily living. God is the creator of all things that are good and pleasing. He also has allowed us the ability to have an effect on these changes by how we steward our gifts which He has given to us. Sometimes they have lasting effects long after we are gone, while other times it lasts only for a season. The same can be said about our relationships. Some last a lifetime, while others only last for a short season. Regardless, God allows everything good and bad to work together to achieve a master plan. We may not understand right now and even question why these certain things are allowed to happen, and especially why they are allowed to happen the way that they do. We must hold on to the larger promise, and those great things will be added unto us. And that He is the rewarder of those who seek and put Him first. We can walk in peace knowing that He will never leave us in our struggling hours. So, just reiterating that there's a season for everything. And despite the fact that we're going through life and experiencing various things in life, just imagine how that parallels with the seasons as they change, how that parallels with the different tides that come and go. That is just the nature of life.
That's life.
What a beautiful choice.
Well stated. Close out, Queen. Bring us home.
Well. So again, we have talked today about a time to heal and a time to reveal. And make sure that you catch all of the juicy goodness that we brought today with all the calmness that came along with it. Because we want you to leave this episode feeling comfortable in understanding and knowing that just that once you are able to deal, you can definitely deal with those things that are being revealed to you. So with that being said, make sure that you reach out to us via email at support@fortuneenterprise.com, IVTUNE enterprise.com, and then also connect with us on social media, Instagram and Facebook at Dem Darn Dorseys, and also at Date with the Dorseys. Whew. With that being said, we are excited to close this thing out because there's always another one coming.
Coming your way.
So stay tuned. But until then, bye for now.
Bye.
Develop a fortune state of mind. Time for a date with. A date with the Dorseys.